It's Wednesday, the 12th of August, 2020. I'm down at the Port of Brisbane talking to truck drivers. I'm going to talk to the NH3R. Let's see what they've got to say. I'm here with Darren. Darren, what's the state of the industry at the moment?
Oh, it's pretty rough at the moment, mate, especially with the borders closed and stuff like that. It's pretty hard on the fellas.
What would be the number one issue that you want to see the politicians address?
Oh, just allow free access for the guys going up and down the coast, eh?
Thanks very much for your comment. What would be the biggest issue that you want to see the politicians address?
Probably more decent places for interstaters to pull up and take a break, and get a clean shower.
I'm here with John. John, what's the state of the industry at the moment?
Oh, it's pretty average. Not a lot of freight moving. Yeah, a little bit quiet. Probably do a little bit more training for some of these new blokes that are out here. But yeah.
What would be the biggest issue that you would like to see the politicians address?
Oh, probably more parking bays. Like I pulled up at Wyong yesterday and you couldn't get in there for cars and caravans, so...
There's only 21 parking bays in the state of Queensland. That's unacceptable, isn't it?
Yeah, no, if they want you to rest, have a shower and a feed and that, but you can never get a park anywhere, It's just, pretty ordinary, really.
Right, we're here with Ray. Ray, what's the industry like at the moment?
Pretty buggered, really. Roads certainly need a bit of tidying up and everything else. But reckon a lot of rules need changing, really. The way they work and things and everything else. All needs a bit of a shake up, really.
So what is the number one issue you want to see addressed?
Mainly the state of the roads. Because they expect us to keep our vehicles maintained and shit and everything else, and realistically the roads are wrecking our gear.
What are we going to do when the Senate inquiry report's finished and the government throws it in the bin? What are we going to do then?
Well, you haven't got a leg to stand on, have you, really? It just goes back to every dog for himself.
I'm here with Andrew, who's almost got as many tattoos as me. Andrew, what's the state of the industry at the moment?
It's not too bad, I suppose. It's driver's industry at the moment. A lot of rules and regs have come in, so drivers are getting looked after, not being made doing silly things, and can't complain too much.
What's the number one thing that you would like to see the politicians address?
Logbook rules. It's a number one with most blokes. I mean, let's face it, not all of us are, fucking year 12 graduates. The logbook can be very, very confusing to people who haven't spent a lot of time on it. And the biggest problem with that is little simple mistakes can cost us drivers a lot of money. It's our livelihood. We don't mean to fuck up. A lot of us just do.
There's only 21 parking bays in the state of Queensland. It makes it very hard to comply fatigue regulations, doesn't it, when you're trying to stretch all those trucks into just those minimum 21 bays?
Yeah, that does make it hard. And especially not just the fact that there's few little, but the ones that they do have, the facilities aren't what you need. I mean, there's lots and lots of trucks running up the highway. You get most parking bays, especially running oversized. You pull up of a night time or right on dark, you get in there later. Places starting to get full. You end up sitting there for 2 or 3 hours waiting to get a shower or a feed. And by the time you've done all that, you're already ready to get into bed. You have your designated break and you just haven't had enough time to get done what you need to do because there's not enough shit there and you're struggling for fucking space.
Are you a member of the Transport Workers Union?
No, I'm not.
Would you join if we were going to take industrial action?
Oh, yeah, if we're going to take industrial action, yeah, probably would.
And what would you say to other truck drivers to get them involved in this road transport inquiry by the Senate?
Well, the more people that we have jumping up and down and putting in input, well, the more hope we've got of getting something done. But if everybody sits on their hands and does nothing, well, we're never going to go anywhere.
How do we get all your drivers to get involved in this Senate inquiry?
That's a tough question, really, because a lot of, every driver's got their own separate lots of opinions and everything else. So it's pretty hard, really, because you've got the younger generation, you've got the older generation, trying to get them all to mix and everything else. It's going to be a tough battle.
I'm having a hard time getting them to send a basic email to the Senate because they're just so time poor. And we need industry consultation. So I'm just trying to get drivers involved.
Yeah, no, that's it. But but basically, really, just state of the roads and the rest areas and stuff. I see they are actually doing a little bit to some of the ones on the Bruce Highway at the moment. A lot of that more needs to happen, and especially the further you go north, north, like I've been to Cairns a couple of times, and in Cairns there's just nothing for truck drivers at all. Well, and for the amount of trucks and everything that take produce and everything into Cairns and out of Cairns and everything else, there's nothing for truck drivers up there that don't really know the area and stuff like that.
There's only 21 parking bays in the entire state of Queensland.
Yeah, which is pretty woeful compared to I've only been into New South Wales a few times, but from what I've seen in New South Wales, their parking bays and all that stuff are 100% better than what we've got in Queensland.
Thanks for your time, Ray. Good on you, mate.
Too easy, mate. Yeah, good one.
Thanks. Guerrilla media means you go the hard yards to get the job. We had to run into some parasites, but we got to see plenty of good truck drivers. Stay tuned for more Transport Inquiry Podcast.